What is shaking, everybody? It is playoff time, and we always enjoy having the Hall of Famer, number 8, Steve Young. Steve, what's going on?
Thomas, how are you, buddy? I miss you.
Tremendous. Miss you as well. Great to see you at Brent Jones's
people over the last
Hall of Fame.
A number of people over the last couple of months said, "Oh, I miss you and Tom," and talking about Christmas lights and fighting over Halloween, So there were 4 or 5 people listening, which is nice.
Yeah, that is nice, and you're more than welcome to. I'm always here, Steve.
I know.
So anytime you want to go to your classroom and pop on in.
Well, here we are.
We're good to go.
For Christmas, I guess.
You did avoid me for good. Do you have all the helmets up in the background?
So what happened, Tom, not to take too much time, but my partner of 25 years in this private equity firm, Rich Lawson, he's like Felix and I'm Oscar. Okay. And so during COVID, I traffic in all this memorabilia for our charity golf tournament. So that's how we make the money. And so they all sit in a big pile in the corner over here, which you can't see. And then during COVID, he couldn't take the mess. So he hung them all up. And so they just trade out. They just trade out all the time. It's like a museum of helmets. Like when I look up right now and I see Jim Everett signed Ram helmet, or like just weird, crazy stuff that Philip Rivers, and that'll go this spring.
Nice.
The next tournament they'll trade out, but that's the helmet museum.
So it is Jim Everett, not Chris Everett, right?
That's right. Unless you want to fight.
No, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight Jim. I don't want to fight either Jim, to be perfectly honest with you. All right, let's get to the so let me ask you this, because I've been telling Brent this throughout the course of the year, and I kind of feel like it's propaganda, but I kind of feel this way. This has been the most fun Niner season to watch in quite some time, because there were expectations early. They went away rather quickly when everyone got hurt, and then continued to get hurt. And they managed to just find ways to win, stack wins. I mean, fumbles at the goal line, a pick here, a big play there. Like, whoa, my God, how'd they win that? It's been a fun, whatever happens, it's been a fun year to watch, has it not?
Let's go way back in the offseason when they made all of those transitional. They had to go through the rigor of overpaying for a wide open window for Super Bowl, right? That's what the York family, Jed and John and Denise, they all, they went all in, and for 3 or 4 years, we got the guys, let's go for it. And I admire that. I really appreciate that. But then the overspend, there's a year now that they say, okay, hold on, we got to get right sized, or we're going to get burned, over time here. And so there's that moment that the Rams have gone through, the Eagles have gone through, the Patriots have gone. Everyone who's wants to stay good has to go through these phases where names go away. And now you got to ask young players who are, on rookie contracts to come in and be huge, ads. And that was that transition year that we thought about in March. Like, this is going to be a transition year. The window's it's not closed. It's just not as open.
Yeah.
Then you add the injuries, like you just said, and now it's like, this window's getting slim. And yet it was all the resilience and the coaching. And on both sides of the ball, everyone's punching above their weight. Mac Jones is like, who's this guy? And I thought he was forgotten man. And so there's just so much that I agree with you. And then by the end of the year, we are talking about Upton Stout and Collins and guys that are contributing. Even over the last 3 weeks, it's gotten better. And so with that, we show up with a new middle linebacker to run the defense who we just met, and we're going to go to Philadelphia and win a playoff game. I think that's part of what you're saying is, why not? That's kind of where we are. And I think that is fun. It is wild. And because it's wild, it gives you hope that wild stuff can happen. And off we go.
Now, you've never been in this situation where you get the quote unquote proverbial free swing at it, because everyone's expecting the Eagles to win this game. I don't know how much I generally buy into that. I'm like, hey, free swing, not free swing. You don't know how many times you're going to get a crack at this. You're going to try to win this game, and it means as much to you as it does the favorite. That being said, I mean, Philly's favored. They should be favored. But Philly's a team this year, Steve, that They don't defend the run all that well. Their defense is like number 7 in yards per play. Their offense has just been kind of a mess this year. I mean, Barkley hasn't run the ball as well. The offensive line hasn't been as good. Hurts has just kind of been here. I think this is a type of game I feel like they have a chance, even though, again, if Philly wins by 10, it's not going to shock me in this game because I think they're better and they're healthier. Who isn't healthier? But I still think there's some avenues here to a win for the 49ers.
Well, look at last week's game against Seattle. If you think about it, Seattle had 6 scoring drives. They scored on 3 of them, right? First and goal at the 1, 2 missed field goals. Like they Seattle play. You could immediately see that Seattle was a better team that day. Like, wow, they're better. And then you see them flub around at first and goal, hit it upright with a doink field goal. And, if they would have lost that fumble, and they could get beat. That game was not – everyone says it was 49ers were down early and stayed that way. Yeah, but that game was available. So that's the same kind of thing this weekend. The Eagles are not what they were last year. Now, they could become that here in the playoffs with Lane Johnson getting healthy. If he's really healthy, that's a huge thing. So there's things about the game, and if Saquon can start to run the football, watch out, because that's what leads up to everything that Jalen's asked to do that makes sense to him. What AJ can just start flying around, and Saquon's running, it's 2nd and short, it's 3rd and 1 with the tush push, and we just can't be stopped. Yeah, that could go the other direction. We get that. But there is an avenue where the Eagles flub around like they've done a number of times this year, do nothing on offense, and end up getting beat because they wait around and screw around long enough. And that's what could have happened, in my mind, with what people call it drubbing against Seattle. Yeah, the game was in the mix until the interception.
Yeah. Well, it was a drubbing yards per play, like from the line of scrimmage.
You could see that they were not the better team that day. It was very
if
clear.
the ball doesn't get tipped and that ball doesn't get picked inside the 5-yard line, that very easily is a 13-10 game. And then all of a sudden it's like Seattle's thinking, well, what the hell are we doing here?
Right. And that's when things get panic, and that's when things can change. And look, the one thing about Brock Purdy and Kyle and the offense is they can make a lot of mistakes. They are not going away. They're not. Yeah. They're both Brock and Kyle are built to withstand. Doesn't matter. It's coming, and we're gonna play. You've seen Brock. He makes a lot of mistakes. Puts it behind him. Move on. Throws a pick for 6 to start a game. It's like a lot of players they can't recover from that. Big game against a playoff time of team, and you throw a pick 6 to start the game, and they never really get back. And he takes 15 seconds to go, out. Yeah. And so in that way, that makes them really dangerous. They never like the bulldog on the pant leg of life. It ain't going away. And I think I appreciate that.
Yeah, I should start a pool every Niner game. And it'll be the time of the game, a time stamp when Brock Purdy makes that first throw that makes you go, yeah.
There's a few of them. He's an aggressive dude, man.
Oh, he's definitely aggressive. A lot more aggressive than the arm strength would lead you to believe.
Well, and I think that's what, he's cashing. It's like you're writing checks he can't always cash.
Yeah,
so he's got to.
Exactly.
He's like, there are some similarities to Matthew Stafford as a swashbuckler and having to try to figure out how to stay. And Matthew's done a great job of that, right? He's still super aggressive and super cool, but his mistakes have really gone down. And if Sam Darnold can figure that out, right? Sam is way too floppy with the ball. And if he could figure that out, man, he could be super dangerous. Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like this week is interesting in that the way to attack Philadelphia is what Kyle always wants to do, is run the ball. Now, they haven't run the ball well this year, aside for 2 games in a row, Indy and Chicago were the 2 best games running the football, but they haven't run the ball that well this year. So I feel like that's where the game's going to be won or lost. Are the Niners going to be able to run the ball enough to set up some 3rd and 5 or less, let Brock use his legs to pick up some first down, stuff like that? If they can't run the ball, then I think they're going to be in trouble. But that's the part of the Eagles defense that is somewhat vulnerable. So I feel like it's coming down to that, Steve. Can the Niners run the ball at least somewhat efficiently.
So you think about the odds of the Niners coming in and run the table on them, and you think that's pretty low odds.
Yeah.
And then the odds of that scrappy game, that goofball game that the Philadelphia flubs around and fumbles, and then they kick a field goal, hits the upright, and go
Yep.
and kick a bunch of field goals instead of touchdowns, and like we're still close enough. Like that game seems more likely, and the most likely probably is that they go chalk on exactly what everybody thinks is going to happen. But you're talking about the running game. If the 49ers change the dynamic, if they are 2nd and 1, early first downs on run, that's when things. That's true for both teams, though, Tom. I mean, if either team starts running the football well, that's what drives both of them, and the difference will be the health. Probably there's a health factor that just has to happen. You can't show up with a middle linebacker that's never started in a playoff game or for the team that they're playing for and expect that it's going to go really smoothly, right? It's not fair. Yeah. But we punched above our weight. We've been doing it. But if we can start running the football, all that stuff starts to kind of go away, and we can be in the mix. And that's fun.
Well, it's funny because then the Eagles haven't run the ball well this year compared to what they have, and the Niners defense can be a sieve at times against the run. I called it the movable object against the resistible force. Who's going to win? But it's like that both ways. It really is like that both ways. Give me I don't want to ask you your thoughts on Brock because I know your thoughts on Brock are pretty much the same as mine. Although it's still every once in a while, Steve, I feel like I got to get on here. I don't know why I got to feel like I got to get on here and tell people how good he is, because the people that listen probably know, but there's still a few people out there that just will not give it up. They just won't give it up. It's like, damn it, I don't care. Whenever I get a chance to knock him, I'm gonna knock him. It makes me laugh more than anything, but every once in a while it does get to me. It's like, are you guys watching the games? What are we doing here?
I think it's important. I think probably people are screaming into the wind because like the things he's great at are the things that as a quarterback, like he owns the data. He's prepared. He's prepared as well as anybody else. He puts the extra time in. You can tell that he has that's what allows you to have answer for all the questions. Like, things go haywire and then you do something else that's positive or smart or good with the football. And that part is so much of the quarterbacking. But the game today, as you watch, college and the pros, you got to be able to run all over the field, throw it all over the field. And those are the guys in the playoffs. And Brock is the outlier, right? Brock is the guy that has very efficiently gone the extra mile because there's not a lot of cheap. He doesn't get to just break the pocket and on one leg throw it across the field 50 yards. Like, just not that doesn't he'll admit that. But all the other pieces of it that are, that help you win football games and get good plays, forward progress. That's where he's not appreciated. That's where you're saying, because he's not a guy that throws it all over the field. Now he's not great. Like, what he's really good at, he's great at. And I think that people just need to let it be, let it be that it is. And I know, and I think the people that pick Pack are the ones that say, well, that's not the prototype today. That's an anomaly. He's an outlier and it's going to catch up to him. It's like, well, fine. Like, I think Brock would stipulate to that as well. I remember one day he's like, look, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the fastest. I get that. I stipulate to it. So quit telling me. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, stop.
Well, I think here's my theory, Steve. My theory was people had this opinion early on because they saw what he did with Shanahan and with all the weapons. That was back Ayuk, Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle, all that. And they're like, well, that's the only reason he's good. And now that he's proven that's not necessarily the case, they still don't want to be wrong. So they don't want to go away from that opinion. Like, they're going to hold on to it. They can't say, you know what? That's the toughest thing for like sportscasters and people that do sports talk shows. And it's so tough for them to say, I was wrong. It's like, you're not the Fonz, okay? It's okay.
But it's probably
just say you're
the
wrong.
same problem. In many ways, it's the same problem that we all faced. Everybody. Peyton Manning, when he was losing early in his playoff career, he's like, he can't win a playoff game. And then he wins 50. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like the NFL is the kind of place where you just have to keep knocking down the hurdles, and the hurdles you can't knock down, then they're right. And the hurdles that you do knock down, they're wrong. And so, and until that, all this is just chit chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so, like, in many ways, it doesn't matter. Like, there's like, what are the hurdles for Matthew Stafford right now? Well, he can't make big mistakes. He's probably going to be a Hall of Fame. Can he win a second Super Bowl? That's a hard thing, second Super Bowl, and so, like, they put that hurdle, like, he can't do it. He's not that guy, and then, like, till he does, and then he is. So
yeah, exactly.
I always say, when I say let Brock cook, just let it happen. Like, you don't have to, you can throw out, everyone can peck or support, or it doesn't matter. In the end, you build a career based on what you've been able to knock down.
Yeah. How big a key, and now we're not sure if he's going to go this week. I want to ask you about Trent Williams, because we know how big a key he is, if he's playing or not playing. But how big a key would Ricky Pearsall be, being that he's like the one guy that seemingly can consistently beat man-to-man coverage? And I'm not sure how much zone versus man-to-man the Eagles play, but it is nice to have a guy like that around.
Well-coached defenses like the Philadelphia Eagles, who are naturally predatory, smell weakness, and without somebody that can threaten, even with because Ricky has unique. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's got speed. But you can miss it. Like, you'll miss him, and he'll go right by you, and then all of a sudden you're in a jam. That pushes the defense backwards. Like, it just pushes you back. And so now all of a sudden, run defense, splits, everything else kind of it's just less. And so in that way, that's why I always say, you want people coming out of the tunnel and introductions. You want to be up 10-0 in the introduction, because of who they've thought was going to play starting on Wednesday. Like, they put the game plan in. It's like, oh, watch out for Trent. But if you can say, well, Trent Williams not there, there's another guy there, and Ricky's not there, and so then for 5 days they've your threat out of the locker room in introductions is gone. It doesn't mean everything, but my point is, it means something. And so your point is, if Ricky's playing, it sends a message that you have to deal with. Now, then you talk about the practical side, like what happens on the field. I'm talking about even impractically, like, not impractically, but just in the preparation, it makes a difference. And so anyway, to have Trent practicing sends the message to the Eagles that we're gonna have to deal with him, and that's a thing. Ricky's still not practicing, then I just don't know.
Oh, it's all chaos. Lori's here. She's
Lori,
leaving.
what's up? We got the cats. We got the dogs screaming.
She's going to Duran tonight, and then Lulu's now, like, they caught fire, and
Duran's playing where?
In Sacramento.
I don't think Barb knows that.
What?
All my best.
Lori said,
I'll rock hungry like the wolf for you.
Oh, yeah. Barb's a big Duran, huh?
Huge. I might not tell her, because she'll be freaked out. Our girl's dancing at the Warrior game, so we got to go to that.
I grew up as a teenager in the 80s. Every single girl was a Duranie.
Yeah, I guess so. She said if you grew up in the 80s, every teenage girl was a Duranie. So there you go. The guys were AC/DC and Iron Maiden. Although I don't peg you for an Iron Maiden guy, Steve.
No. I did not like acid rock.
It's not acid rock. It's heavy metal.
Same thing.
Acid rock. What is acid rock?
Same thing.
It sounds like that's something you saw on MTV one day. What is acid rock?
And say to myself, you know what? I want someone to scream at me. That would make me really feel good. Like, that would if you just scream at me, that will make me happy. Like, no, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. Like, you don't need to coo at me either. Like, it's all right. You can yell, but if you're gonna scream at me, I don't need that. I don't need to.
I wish I could remember some of the artists that you asked for when we were doing the radio show.
We had some good ones. I'll delve in there, but it's in and out. Like it's not. We're not going to stick around. We're going to rent for a minute, but there's a couple of ballads that we can deal with.
I think the hardest you came up with was Billy Joel one day or something.
Oh, shut up! I have to go back in the record, man. I had Billy Joel.
I mean, we have the Bon Jovi classic. That one's fantastic, and you love that one. I know you say you don't. There's no doubt you love that Bon Jovi cameo. Oh, Kings of Leon. That's right. You did enjoy Kings of Leon.
But the Kings of Leon, are you going to say that's heavy metal?
No. That's not heavy metal. That's just like rock.
Yeah. See, that's me. I'm your rock. I'm a rock.
Yeah, you're rock.
I'm not a heavy metaler. No,
you're like the other Hall of Famers, the other Steve Kerr. They're very, very soft. He's a Beatles guy. He loves the Beatles.
Because I don't want someone screaming in my ear. I'm soft.
I did that.
You know what? You're going to find out the same
screaming.
thing with Chicago Bears and in the 80s or whoever else, the Giants. 49ers are soft. They're soft. They're soft. That's all we ever heard until we run you over and take the trophy. All right.
Last concert you've been to?
Man, we used to go to the Mountain Winery 10 times a year. We have not been for years. Where have we gone? What have we done?
It's a great place.
Dang, man, what have we done recently? It's been, I'm going to say, what did we go see? Well, Morgan Wallen. I walked.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So that's that. But
I didn't peg you for a country guy, but country's different nowadays.
Oh, hey, don't look. There's some twangy country that's just too much, right? We get that. But there's some storytelling and some emotion. You can say soft, but there's some good. I mean, it's like, look, if
I didn't say soft. Well, I like
someone
fine.
tells me a great story that's going to make me kind of feel better, I'm in. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. No.
What if someone screams at you a good story?
I would rather go find that story somewhere else when they're not screaming at me.
All right, let's go to some of the other playoff matchups. Finally, Josh Allen. There's no Mahomes. There's no Burrow. There's no Jackson, and they don't have home field. They gotta go to Jacksonville, which is going to be a tough matchup. But how big is this for Josh Allen, you think? Because you mentioned this many years ago, Steve. You're like, AFC every year is going to be Allen, going to be Jackson, going to be Mahomes, going to be Burrow. They got to go through one another. Right. This is a 1 year. One of them made it, and the other three didn't. How big an opportunity is this for him?
It's a huge opportunity, but now you're on the road, and you got to go play a team that has been historically won and out forever, except for 1 year, for 30 years. So it's like, but this is the year where all of a sudden they get a coach, Liam Cohen, that reminds you of Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay and Sean Payton. You're like, who is this guy? And how is he taking Trevor Lawrence, not from the, kind of recite, but he's all of that all of a sudden. And so it's like, Josh has got to be like, wait, what? Now you're going to add Trevor Lawrence to the crowd, and we're going to ask Bo Nix to the crowd, and we're going to add, like, wait a second, what's going on here? And Drake May's now there's 6 of us or 7 of us, not 3 or 4, because that makes the odds so much worse. So the fact that the big 3 aren't in, you're like, oh, this is the year. But all of a sudden, Drake May makes me feel like he's going to be one of those guys.
Yeah, he might be.
And if he is, the AFC, if you think you're going to go to a bunch of Super Bowls in the AFC in the next 10 years, like, I think Patrick Mahomes did all he could to hog it all in an era where you didn't think he could. He did. But now you look over the next 10 years, is it Josh Allen going to hog a lot? No, it's going to be hard. Josh might want to go over and play for, I don't know, Giants.
What did you make of the John Harbaugh firing and what's going down in Baltimore?
I mean, John, since they changed the rules, the offensive innovators are the ones that are dominating the league. Now, you can say John dominated the league in the last 8 years, and since the rule changes, he did. The rank and file season, regular season, he did. But then it would always peter out in the playoffs, because to me, you have to transition to this innovation, new way of playing football, college-like football. That, yes, you still have to play great defense. Yes, you have to control the line of scrimmage. Yes, you need to run the football. Yes. But look at, I just said the names, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Andy Reid 8 years ago figured it out. There's a new way to do it. And then now from that coaching tree is throughout the league. And so if you don't embrace that change, like the Jaguars finally embraced it, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that as an owner, Steve Bisciotti must have said, you know what, John, you're amazing. And he is amazing. He is all of that. If I would have been Steve, I said, look, John, I still want you, but we are going to embrace this West Coast, whatever you want to call it, infiltration of the NFL 100%. And that's what I would have done. I would not have fired somebody who's so great at head coaching and find a way to, but they decided to do what they did.
Well, it's interesting because I know Harbaugh is going to be number one on a lot of people's list. And I know his offense didn't look great, but I like Stefanski. I think Stefanski, you give him a stable situation. You don't throw Deshaun Watson at him, who never wanted to be there. You got an owner. I don't know if you saw the headline in The Athletic. Haslam said something that was just, I can't find it, but he's like, yeah, it's been a little rough, but we got our kicker. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? You got your kicker. Like, who cares if you got a kicker? No one cares if you got your kicker. But I like Stefanski. Like, I think Stefanski.
I agree.
I
agree, and he has that innovative thoughts and cycles. And so I if he is in New York and with a new quarterback, that I think seems like he can, he could do that as well. So I agree with you. I would chase him. I would chase Stefanski hard.
Yeah. Here it is. I know you got to run here in a minute, but I'll just let you read the headline. It's a beauty.
Wait, what?
No, that's not a direct quote. It's a headline, of course. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam and his team isn't dysfunctional. Just look at the kicker. Just so you would say something even close to that. Like, none of your comments should be even like skirting that at all. It'd just be like, hey, we got to figure things out around here. It's not as bad as you think it is. Oh my God.
Well, the ultimate, honestly, the safest place to be in America is an owner of an NFL football team. Inelastic demand that keeps going up and to the right, no matter what, no matter whether you win or lose, does not matter. The equal share of all the revenue, so it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can say it matters or feel that it matters, but it economically does not matter. And so that's the beauty of the NFL. It's the beauty of what they designed. But yet it's the downfall, because equity ownership is not held accountable. And the most fireable, the most liquid jobs in America are quarterback, head coach in the NFL, and general manager. Like those, you can trip coming out of the locker room and lose your job. Like, it's tough. And that's how it is. But the job that is the most secure job in America, so it's just total different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
The owner. And that's what's hard, is because there's owners trying to do better, but in the end aren't, like anything with your kids, if they're not held accountable, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. Kim, what was the closest? Did you ever come close to being part of an ownership group that owned a team?
Oh, look at you asking this.
No, I'm asking a question.
I can't. I'll say this.
What did I put peanut butter in your mouth?
A couple other people a long time ago put a bid forward, and it never happened. It didn't transact to anybody. But I will say that we did. Yeah, we did. We tried, and I was the bad news Bears. I was the 1%, and then they were the 99%. So
you were the face. You were the face. So for
that's all I can say about it. That's all I can say about it.
I'm just going to assume it was the Niners then, but
Don't
it could be something else. I'm surprised you didn't even jump into basketball or baseball. I know how much you love other sports. You love baseball too. I'm surprised you didn't look into that a little bit.
I didn't have 99%. guys next to me to go.
That usually hurts. All right, before I let you go, keys to the game.
For the Niners, you said it. Can they come out and run the football and have second and short, or third and really manageable? Like that's where we can beat people. We don't just hang with people. We can go beat you, and so that'll be the number one key. Short of that, then it's at best a dog fight that we can try to come up with a couple of big plays. And in playoff games, it's all if they go down and start kicking field goals. I guess in some ways that's a positive in the game like this. Maybe that I just say run the football. If they can come up with some, if your first 5 third downs are third or 4 and 5 of them are third and under 5, you should start paying attention. Like, hey, wait, what's happening here? What's going on?
Yeah.
If they're all 3rd and 8, 3rd and 15 for a penalty or a sack or something else, then you got to be like, this is going to be rough. Well, because I think our defense, look, the best case scenario is that we hang in there, right? It's not fair to say to this defense, as undermanned as they are, to go into Philadelphia and dominate. Like, now we all, because of the season we had, are like, yeah, we can do that. Let's go. So the Pollyanna nature of me and you and everyone else is probably true at some level, but we can't expect it. And so the fact is, if we start getting run on and they get down and scoring, I guess maybe the key to the game is running the football and Philadelphia kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. You got to feel like they're going to get down there. And if somehow they have 4, think about it, 4 field goals and 4 touchdowns, like if they can make that swap, then we're in the mix. So
that's been this team this year, Steve. Yeah. That's been this team this year. Just kind of hang around. Yeah. Just kind of hang around and see what happens.
If Philadelphia can go up 6-9-0, I don't care. We're fine. But if they go up 21, then we got a problem, right?
got a big problem.
Yeah. But it's great. What the shock would be if we go up 14-0. Now they're in a bind.
Big
the
time.
Holiday lights are not down yet.
What?
The holiday lights are not down yet.
Well, you said you keep the ones on the palm tree up all year. I mean, that's too much to take those down.
I climb it once a year. I'm not doing it twice a year. I mean,
you don't climb that thing now.
My bare feet. I put the rope in my mouth, and I climb the 60, 90 feet, and string the lights with one hand.
Who are you, Maui? Is Moana out there too?
Hold on with the other hand, and yodel when I get to the top.
Yeah. Well, yodel. What do you yodel?
Hey,
look, palm trees in Switzerland?
Bro, Barb's staring me down, bro.
All right. Tell Barb I said hi.
You got
it. Barb, by the way, Duran, Sacramento tonight.
She actually can't hear you. I wrote her that already. I already told her.
Oh, unbelievable. Steve, have a great day. Tell Barb I said hi. It's great seeing you, and we'll talk to you again soon. See you, Steve.
See you.
Bye-bye, man. Oh, man. He's a piece of work. I mean, it really does feel like it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's your run-of-the-mill generic keys to the game. Run the ball, stop the run. I mean, that's every single game, right? When isn't there a game that you say, we don't need to run? And for that matter, we don't need to stop the run either. We're just kind of figure it out. That's always, that's core. That's core football right there. If you don't stop the run, that means they never need to pass, and the turnover is going to go way down, time of possession, fatigue, all that stuff. So, of course. But this one just seems a little more important than maybe other games because I think and to Steve's point, if the Niners get up in this game, that would be huge. Because the Eagles offense is not an offense built to come from behind. Like the Niners are more likely to come from behind, I think, than the Eagles. Problem is, if the Niners get behind, then they need to string together some stops. That's not a stout stop unit. Even though they do have a guy named Stout on the stop unit, it is not a stout stop unit. So, look, here's the thing. The offense is going to have to do what the offense has done all year. When they win 28 points. 27 maybe because the Eagles' offense isn't very good. But even at that, combined with the Niners' defense, I don't know how the Eagles score less than 24. Unless, as Steve says, they just, you get down to the red zone and you get a holding or you get a fumbled snap. Just something, kind of out of the ordinary, although holding's not that out of the ordinary. Just kind of like, oh my gosh, every time we get down here, it's one thing or another. That's what you're going to need. Because I think from the line of scrimmage, yards per carry, yards per pass, those type of things, I think the Eagles will win. I think they're going to win that battle. I just do. Unless the Niner offense is completely on fire. To do that, they're going to have to run the ball. To do that, they probably could use a guy like Trent Williams on the line. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Do I think they can do it? Yeah, because they've done it this year, and that's what they're going to need. They're going to need a game like Game 1 in Seattle. They're going to need a game like Game 2 against Arizona. They're going to need a game like Game 1 against the Rams in LA. Games where you're like, oh, man, they're not going to – do they win? One of those type games where something's going to happen and they just hang in there, just hang around, which is what they've been doing all year. Just kind of hanging around. They're just hanging around this town. That's another one of Steve's, not Young, but Kerr, one of his favorite bands, Counting Crows. I don't know why I said that, but because I said just hanging around. But just hang around. Make it uncomfortable for them. This is kind of who they've been all year long. Offense has been good. Sometimes it's been great. Defense kind of hangs in there sometimes, kind of doesn't. Makes a play here or there. You get an odd penalty. So I think that's what it's going to take this weekend. But for me, it feels like a free swing. I know it's not for them, but it just feels like how in the world did they get where they're at? Really? And again, to me, it's not propaganda. I'm not trying to sell you something like, wow, the Niners are incredible. Like, it's just that's how I feel this year. This is a very strange feel to it. Like it is. It's a summer feel good hit story. You just show up, you don't expect much early on, and then maybe you expect even less halfway through, and it's like, oh my God, look at this team. They just keep hanging in there. And they were outclassed against the Rams in Santa Clara. Bordering on outclassed against the Seahawks last game of the year, but they were right there. They were in that game. The Rams game, they were never really in. They were chasing the whole game. So who knows? Who knows? And it feels like the NFL this year, there's not a team you look at and go, wow, can't beat them. Can't beat them. Everyone seems to have their little flaw that maybe you can pick at. So we will see what happens. All right, coming up, we're going to have Drew Remenda on, and I'm not sure if we're going to have Drew on in about we need to see a Big Mac in one bite to believe it. Who's eating Big Macs in one bite? TK, and thank you very much. Who's doing that? I don't eat Big Mac. I don't eat Big Macs, period. I certainly wouldn't eat them in one bite. Who's eating Big Macs in one bite? I mean, I'll do a McNugget in one bite. That's not stressing me out. But I'm not, yeah. Big Macs, no. Fruit and yogurt parfait, maybe. If I go to McDonald's, it's double cheeseburger for me. And so we will we'll go over our favorite fast food. But Arby's is, I did mention Arby's yesterday. Arby's is one of my favorite fast food restaurants. I do like Arby's. The Arby's sauce and the horsey sauce and all that kind of stuff. So anywho. All right, coming up, Drew Remenda is going to join us. And Dennis Ranahan. We'll see if we can get some winners for you guys. And yeah, not only the Sharks had a nice win on Wednesday, which I was only able to watch the third period because I was doing the Warrior game that night. Hell of a third period too. And again, Celebrini is just incredible. If you're a Sharks fan, you got to be thrilled you got this guy. And if you're not a Sharks fan, think about becoming a Sharks fan you can watch this guy. And I would say go get your 50% off beers because Tyler Toffoli scored, but that was Wednesday, so doesn't make any difference on Friday. And so, but if you happen to be going down to the tank, you can grab yourself a Fieldwork non-alcoholic beverage, since they are the official non-alcoholic craft beer of your San Jose Sharks. And if you're observing or just partaking, either or, dry January, head on by Fieldwork and grab yourself some non-alcoholic beverages. All right, coming up, we will kind of figure out what we're going to do here. I'm not sure when Drew's going to come on, when Dennis is going to come on. It could be. Thank you, I appreciate it. TK wants another serial killer bracket. Are there any new serial killers that I lost track of over the last year? I think maybe we'll come up with another one. I think the serial killer bracket's one and done. You can't keep going back to the well. You got the same dudes every year. I mean, and they got to be the guys that everybody knows. By the way, I don't even know who won that last year. Did our hometown boy win that one? Did Zodiac Killer take that? I know the Zodiac Killer wasn't like just dicing people up last year and slicing through the competition. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to do the serial killer bracket again. We'll probably come up with something. But yeah, like I said this last year, serial killer bracket's a one and done. You can't keep running that thing out there. Yeah, Zodiac did win. I think we need a recount on that. But anyway, hometown boy makes good. Everybody loves him. Nobody knows him. All right, coming up, you could do a little homer for me, and then we'll kind of figure this out. We'll be back. We're definitely doing Drew. We're definitely doing Dennis. Just not sure exactly what time. It could be soon. It could be a little gap in between. So hang in there, and I'll be back. All right, so here's what we've decided to do. We are going to take about 30 minutes off and then be back with Drew and Dennis. So if you guys want to hang around, shoot the shit with one another, whatever, tiddlywinks it up, make some wagers, whatever you guys want to do. But we will be back here at 1 o'clock for those of you that want to listen to Drew and listen. We'll talk about the Sharks and their recent play. We'll talk about the Olympic team, Celebrini making the Olympic team, which is very cool. And so we'll get into that as well. And then we'll have Dennis on after him and talk a little handicapping. See if we can find some winners for you. All right. So half an hour, everybody, a little rest, a little relaxation. And I'll see. I'm counting, by the way. I'll see you guys all back here in a half an hour. See you.
And remember this, Tommy T. Cash and tickets is what it's all about.